What up, Bucs fans, NFL fans, and gambling fans? Welcome to Pewter Picks and Props, the Bucs and NFL edition of the show. I'm your host, Matt Matera from PewterReport.com, and Pewter Picks and Props is brought to you by Splash Sports. Join over 2.5 million people playing on Splash Sports, the home for Survivor, Pick'em, and QuickPicks. Whether you want to create your own contest with friends or take a shot at life-changing prize pools, Splash Sports has got you covered. You could get a free $5 no-sweat entry that can unlock for you with any quick picks that you make over the weekend, whether it's college football or the NFL. All you got to do is download the Splash Sports app, and you see the QR code on the screen. Turn $20 into $1,000 with the best multipliers in daily fantasy sports. Make sure you download the Splash Sports app today. We have a very, very exciting matchup, a kind of matchup of desperation between the Bucs and the Bills taking place in Buffalo on Sunday. Two teams that are coming off tough losses. Bucs had a chance to beat the Patriots, but weren't able to score late. Didn't get the stops either. Buffalo upset, embarrassed by the Miami Dolphins. So something's got to give in this matchup. Real quick, let's take a look at my record overall from last week. I am 11-7 on the season. I got screwed over with the under. The under was completely set, good to go, but the Bucs couldn't get the stop on Travion Henderson at the end, and then the Bucs scored a garbage time touchdown. So was a double loser last week when it came to the spread and the over-under. Player props were so-so, 20 and 25 with Bucs player props, 31-32 prop bets overall, and have a good winning record with the NFL picks at 30-26. So taking a look at Bucs versus Bills, I'm sorry, Bucs fans, but I'm going with Buffalo to cover -5.5 points, and I have the under of 48.5. That number's dropping a little bit too, so I try to get that as quickly as possible. But the issue for me is the Bills are going to be a completely desperate team that cannot afford to go even further down in the standings of the AFC East with the Patriots winning on Thursday Night Football. They have an MVP quarterback in Josh Allen that has to, rewrite the ship for everything going on in Buffalo. And a big reason why I like the under in this game is because the weather is going to be absolutely crazy. It's supposed to be rainy. There's supposed to be a lot of wind. When that's the case, especially with the wind, that means not a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. So I think you're going to see a lot of short passes, running the football a ton, which, takes up a lot of time. And this Bucs team, still no Bucky Irving, still no Chris Godwin Jr. I just don't know where the offensive production is going to come from. Baker Mayfield is in a slump. I don't think he's going to get out of it this week, especially with the poor weather. The Bucs defense, while it's looked good at times, they allow a lot of splash plays, so it could be a big game for James Cook in this one. I just don't see how the Bucs offense gets on track without Bucky Irving in the game with the explosive plays. I have one idea of how they can get back into it, but we'll see if Tampa Bay decides to pull the trigger on a certain position. And with Bills -5.5, I just think they're not going to lose 2 games in a row once again. It's a little bit of an odd number with the Bills having to win by a touchdown. I like the Bucs defense. I don't love what they're doing. They still allow a lot of explosive plays, and it's tough to go up against Josh Allen, especially with this game being in Buffalo. So I'll take the Bills -5.5 and the under of 48.5. I've seen it go lower to even like 46 and stuff like that too. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong about the Bucs. I'd like them to win, but I got to go with my gut. So I'm taking Bills -5.5 and the under of 48.5. Looking at some Bucs player props, my favorite pick is about Sean Tucker. Now, we got to factor in a couple of things. Again, Bucky Irving's not playing, and Sean Tucker, has been the way more explosive running back than Rachaad White. Rachaad had one more rushing attempt than Sean Tucker last game against New England, and it was Sean Tucker that led the way in rushing with over 50 yards. He was the first running back to gain over 50 yards rushing against the Patriots on the season. He needs more playing time. He needs more rushing attempts and needs more attempts than Rachaad White in the game. So I'm a big fan of over 40.5 rushing yards for Sean Tucker. If they're going to be running it more based on the weather, you also factor in the Bills have the third worst rushing defense in the league, allowing over 140 yards per game. I think some explosive runs. If he's able to get double-digit handoffs, he's going to far eclipse the over of 40.5 rushing yards. I have Josh Allen over on his passing yards, which is, let me double check, over 220.5 passing yards. He's got a cannon of an arm, so he'll be able to throw the football even in the wind. And the Bucs, while they allowed a lot of touchdowns against the Patriots, they try to be bend but don't break. They give up a lot of passing yards. Doesn't always lead to touchdowns, but they just always allow the underneath stuff. So Josh Allen can feast on that all day long. Baker Mayfield, my only prop bet on him is under 31.5 passing attempts in this game. And it all goes back to the weather once again, with the Bucs leaning a lot more on the running game. And really for Baker, they try to limit his amount of passing attempts to around 28 to 30. If it's a close game, Josh Grisard will show that he is fine with having a balanced offense. It's when the Bucs go down by 2 scores when they pass it a billion times. That's what happened with the Lions. The Seahawks game was a little bit different as well. But typically, if it's a close back and forth game, you'll see Baker Mayfield average around 28, 29, 30 passing attempts. So hopefully if the Bucs can jump out to a lead or keep it close, they'll still rely on leaning on that run game. And if they're having success, they're going to just play into it that much more. So I think it's going to be under on the passing attempts for Baker Mayfield in this game. And then my last Bucs player prop is going to be Tez Johnson over 3.5 catches. He's getting more involved in the offense. Last 2 games had 5 and 4 receptions. People think he is just a deep threat. He's way more than that. And with the underneath throwing that should happen in this game because of the weather, I see Tez Johnson heavily involved. Some crosser routes, maybe some screens, short passes where he can win some one-on-one matchups if they play man-to-man or find his spot in the zone. The more Baker Mayfield trusts him, the more targets he's going to get. So over 3.5 catches, I'm a big fan of. And then I'm doubling down if you take the Sean Tucker over rushing and Tez Johnson over on the catches. That is my pewter parlay. It will be plus 350. Trying to keep it shorter with the card, but ones that I believe in a lot more. So I like the chances of that pewter parlay going to hit. Before we go to the NFL picks across the league, just one more reminder to download the Splash Sports app. Enter all the various contests they have. You can do a pick 'em week to week. And if you feel good about the card, just do a 1-week pick 'em, $10 entry, win over $1,000. And they're the best multipliers in daily fantasy sports. It's not just football, too. It's college football, Major League Baseball, golf, NBA, WNBA, the NHL as well. Tons of different games, prizes, tournaments you can do over at Splash Sports. So, looking at the rest of the NFL, you got to pick a game where Jameis Winston is starting. So, I absolutely love the return of Jameis Winston. He's having his first career start with the Giants. Have to take the over of 43.5. Giants have a pretty bad defense. Packers need to get right themselves on offense. They've lost 2 games in a row. This is a perfect get-right game for the Packers in terms of Jordan Love slinging the football, scoring a lot of points. And we know Jameis Winston is going to air it out, whether it's going to be a bomb for a touchdown or a pick 6. I expect a lot of points in this game, and I'm thrilled. I'm pumped. I'm so excited to watch Jameis Winston start an NFL game once again. Happening this season. So this is outside of the Bucs Bills, this is the most exciting game to watch for me in this one. So I'll take the over 43.5. Falcons minus 3.5 against the Panthers. It's a home game for Atlanta. They are sliding terribly. Both of these teams are out of control, Jekyll and Hyde. You never know what you're going to get. Panthers blew them out their first matchup. I think the Falcons get some revenge on Sunday. Jaguars plus 2.5 versus the Chargers. Everything's been riding high for LA recently, and the Jaguars choked away a loss to the Jaguars last game with the fourth quarter comeback by the Texans, So I think Jacksonville bounced back. They're pissed off. Probably win this game outright against the Chargers. And one of the most exciting games on Sunday Night Football, taking the Lions plus 2.5 at the Eagles. I think the Lions are just going to be on a rampage tour after they lost coming out of the bye to the Vikings. They had a great game last week. The Eagles, it's a ton of drama between the wide receiver A.J. Brown and quarterback Jalen Hurts. Their defense is playing great, but now Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach, is calling the plays on offense. Jared Goff's great. Amon-Ra St. Brown's fantastic. Jameson Williams getting more involved as well. So I'll take the Lions plus 2.5. And if you pick Giants at Packers over 43.5 and the Lions plus 2.5, and you parlay that together, that's my NFL pewter parlay of plus 265. So those are my picks for Bucs Bills and the rest of the games in the NFL. Very excited to watch this matchup. I appreciate everybody watching along with this show, tailing my picks, whether it's Monday night and Thursday night football, which you can see on our YouTube channel, whether it's college football as well on Saturdays. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and we'll keep doing this week in and week out. So make sure you download the Splash Sports app. Also, make sure you follow me at Matty4_Matera. Pewter Report, we're at Pewter Report. You can follow us on all of our social media on Instagram at Pewter Report, and our YouTube channel is Pewter Report TV. So please like and subscribe. Leave a comment on this video. What bets you're looking at for Sunday between the Bucs and Bills, or really any game across the NFL. That's it for this show. Thanks again to everybody for watching. Let's win some money.